I rarely do energy updates, but I thought it was important to bring this one forth because I believe there is a collective energy that is lingering here that may be impacting you, and you may be conscious of it, or you may not even be conscious of it. But learning how to move through it and navigate it with grace can bring a whole lot of ease in your journey at this time. If you're new here, my name is Xavier Dagba, and I'm your host. And the intention of this space is to spark conversations that ignite self liberation. So, we're going to be talking about an energy update. We're going to be talking about a collective energy that I believe is here powerfully and that we get to see. And behind it, there is a shadow, a pattern that we usually do very much unconsciously. And there's an invitation to move out of that in your own journey, in your own life, so that you can bring more graceful transformation at this time. To give some sort of context, over the last few years, we've navigated what I like to call turbulent times with COVID and the impact that COVID has had, on our lives, relationships, on our ability to work, multi-layered, multifaceted, on our mental health, on our psyche, huge. And on top of that, it was followed by a lot of societal disruption, huge amount of societal disruption. And now we experiencing what I like to call the economic aftermath of these years of crisis. We're seeing a lot of inflation, we're seeing recession, we're seeing economic turmoil unfolding. So we usually have a way to deal with situations that are very challenging, especially when we do not see any end in sight. And that's a key element here. When people have a hard time seeing any end in sight, what we often do is we create an artificial safe space. And that artificial safe space that we often create is hopelessness. And this energy of hopelessness at the moment is widespread. It is across the board. I'm inviting you to even tune into it for a second. And you may feel that maybe in your own life, maybe in your own journey, you are maybe unconsciously hindering your ability to hope, hindering your ability to project yourself, hindering your ability to dream, hindering your ability to welcome the new. So there is usually that hindrance that we often put on ourselves. And why do we do that? Because it is safe. If I do not see any end in sight, why hope at all? If I do not see any sign of things getting any better, why hope at all? So, what do people do? They settle a lot. It's like we create virtual or psychic safe spaces that are actually hindering our capacity to create, hindering our capacity to welcome the new, hindering our capacity to tap into new ideas and to finance energetically new ideas. And the question that is so important here is to ask yourself, how am I participating in that paradigm? How do I do that? How do I contribute to that? It's really important to sit with that question. How do I buy into the paradigm of hopelessness? Many people across the board are choosing to dim down their ability to bring in the new. Many people across the board are unconsciously choosing to wallow in this space where we feel out of touch with our capacity to actually create. And what it causes for so many, first, it can lead towards depression quite easily because we are unconsciously slowing down our speed. We are unconsciously slowing ourselves down. We're unconsciously putting ourselves in a space where we believe it is not safe to dream if I cannot predict with certainty that the environment that the collective energy will be supportive of what I envision. So there is a big invitation to actually start transcending that. In my opinion, the divine mandate, the divine invitation right now is to be a rebel in terms of how you actually create. It is to summon even more of your creative power. It is to finance even more the things that you really aspire to in this lifetime. I often tell people if my intention was to get you to be, if I was somebody that had the intention of attempting to control you, attempting to get you to conform even more, what I would attack first is your ability to dream, is your ability to hope for better. It is your ability to want something better for yourself. So if you identify to a certain degree as a light worker, or as a light warrior, as a heart warrior, as somebody that is here to shift the paradigm, it is important that you see through this energy. Because the more you are able to hold that energy, that alchemical energy, and apply it to the collective shadow of hopelessness, what you do is you are shooting a light in the collective field, and many people are able to tune into it. One way to be a shining light right now is to allow yourself to be the embodiment of not just hope, but knowingness that we are moving through this. And because you can know that, you can feel it, you can sense it within your own cellular structure, you can take action upon it. You have an energy of grace about you, and people around you start seeing and be like, how can you allow yourself to dream in these times? What is your secret? And sometimes the secret starts with a choice, with a decision. But I'm not going to let myself dwell in this, collective soup of hopelessness. I'm going to see it with compassion. I'm going to see with compassion people that are in it and that are not willing to see anything outside of it. I'm going to honor them where they are, but I'm not going to let that energy leak into me any further. I choose to create. That's why I came here for. I choose to create. I choose to open my heart in ways that I didn't know how to do before, in ways that I didn't know were even possible. Because, in my opinion, these times are deepening your capacity to hold your divinity. The times that we're navigating right now, they are deepening your capacity to hold your divinity. They are the stretch that your heart has been needing. They are amplifying your capacity to embrace your self mastery and to create more elegantly. So there's a big invitation to move through the shadow of hopelessness. Are you willing to honor that invitation? I'm inviting you to explore that. That's the update that I wanted to share with you. And finally, I'm inviting you to check the link below and to go and find my shadow integration free mini course. That can help you navigate times of density that we are usually going through. And this is something that can profoundly shift the way you relate to your inner world, profoundly shift your ability to navigate through density, navigate through shadow material, so that you reclaim more of your light, so that you allow yourself to shine bright. And that's what I love to support. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm having this, that's why I'm recording this video. I hope it supports you. If it does, please share it with people who might need it. And I'll see you next time.